If you are accustomed to potential catalysts for aviation accidents, then you've probably heard of failing brakes, electronic malfunctions, and structural failures. But what happens if entire engines break off? The majority of you may find this strange, but on November 7, a 2007 National Airlines B732 aircraft taking off from Cape Town and heading to Johannesburg experienced an engine failure. So, exactly what took place? It is extremely uncommon for any of it to have fallen off an aircraft. But there is still a few ways with which it can happen. One of these ways could be through inflate damage, which could be caused by objects in the air flying through the engine or vice versa. Another possibility is through human error during installation or construction, which could result in an engine that is loose or exposed and increase the likelihood of detachment or damage. A third and arguably the most likely possibility could be mechanical failure that leads to an engine shear-off. You can see how many aircraft have their engines positioned, but the wings hold the engines to the aircraft with nuts and bolts, allowing them to simply fall off in the event of internal or external pressures or other unstable forces to prevent further damage. This makes sense on paper because a shaky engine could easily fail during flight, causing catastrophic damage to the aircraft's wings and other parts. In a few instances, aircraft engines have fallen off as a result of one or more of these factors. In fact, the Boeing 7227 had something of a reputation for shedding its engines. This time, poor laboratory plumbing was to blame for ice buildup in one of the engines, causing damage to the fan blades and vibrations that caused the engine to deliberately shear off. There have also been a handful of incidents of engine fall-offs involving Boeing 747 aircraft such as the China Airlines Flight 358, Boeing 747-200F, one of whose engines failed and collided in 1991 near Taiwan. But the most important to today's video is in fact a Boeing 737 that is operated by South African National Airlines. And this one has the potential to be fatal for the passengers were it not for the quick thinking of some cabin crew members. What exactly transpired on the Nationwide flight that fateful day? Nationwide Airlines was an airline based in the Laurier International Airport in Johannesburg, a South African capital. They flew national and city international flights. However, it was one of their 73,725s that would be involved in one of the most bizarre accidents in South African aviation history. But before we can proceed, the correlation of Boeing 737 design to the accident in question. When they were making the first 737, they actually wanted an aircraft with a low-speed ground clearance so that they could be easy for ground handlers to work on, as Boeing assumed that the aircraft would mainly operate into smaller airports where there might not be enough facilities to. As a result, the standard engines were installed directly beneath the wings without pylons, and the story would not be complete without horses. Engines were connected to two primary mounts, one forward and one after. The aft engine's front secondary support assembly came next. Bone bolts are used to attach the engine supports to the wing and are designed to withstand any typical loads the engine might encounter. It was extremely important that these bolts were mounted correctly with the correct amount of torque applied to them to avoid overstress, which could lead to metal fatigue. Now this brings us back to the incident with Nationwide Flight C723. The weather was in that fateful day. Cape Town was quite gloomy with light rain, but the weather for the destination looked a bit better. Therefore, the flight was scheduled to continue. The team in charge consisted of 4 cabin crew and 2 pilots. And the 2 pilots flying together had very mixed experience levels in commercial flight. Captain Trevor Arnold, a 50-year-old veteran with 13,800 hours of total flight time on the Boeing 737-200, was one of them. The other was Daniel Perry, 25, who was new to the job and had only started flying for National a month before the flight. On the day of the flight, however, He had 278 hours on the 737-200, from which he had earned his type rating earlier that year. At the time of their planned detour, there was a lot of traffic coming from the outside, so that the ground controller asked them to hasten their lineup and be ready for immediate takeoff as soon as the landing SRJ from the rear had been cleared by South Africa Express runway in front of them.